Hello, I'm Beth Joey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel where I paint my face, turn my camera on and talk about some books. Get your bathers out, get your ice cream out, get your sunscreen out. It is time for summer. It is time to run through all the books that I want to read over the next couple of months in one of my favorite seasons, and that is summer. I'm an Aussie through and through, so naturally summer by nature of being an Australian is one of my favorite seasons, but also because in the UK, summer's actually comfortable, whereas in Oz, it's just hell. So I really look forward to the middle of the year and getting into all those summery reads and enjoying the hot weather and the sunshine, wishing for air conditioning. And of course, I have to pick a few books that are going to really get me into those summer vibes. Hopefully I'll actually read them this time, unlike my spring TBR, which we'll talk about, you know, later when we want to acknowledge it. So without further ado, let's get into the 10 books that I am hoping to smash out this summer. First up, we've got Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And now I know that it is raining on the cover of this book, but something about the cover and the colors, the fact that it's a romance, just feels really summery to me. Maybe because in Australia, summer is also like storm season, so rain is just kind of part and parcel with summer, but this is going to be the first book that I aim to smash out this summer. As for what it's about, it says Ari Abrams loves working as a TV meteorologist, but unfortunately her boss is so busy fighting with her ex, who happens to be the station's new director, that there's always a storm brewing inside the newsroom. After a particularly explosive showdown, Ari and shy sports reporter Russell hatch a plan to get their bosses back together fast. As they work to help the sparring exes fall back in love, Ari finds herself telling Russell things that she has always kept hidden, and soon realizes there's more to her quiet colleague than meets the eye. It seems like love might have been in front of Ari all along, but will Russell be able to embrace her dark clouds as well as her clear skies? I mean, that just sounds adorable. I love the sort of workplace romance setup that's clearly going on here, and the sort of shy hero with, I guess, a more outspoken colleague. I mean, it just sounds adorable. Next up, we've got Beasts of a Little Land by Juhea Kim, and for me, I mean, what about this cover does not scream summer to you? It is so bright, beautiful, the colors are incredible. Of course, this is going on the TBR. As for what it's about, it says, as the Korean independence movement gathers pace, two children meet on the streets of Seoul. Fate will bind them through decades of love and war. They just don't know it yet. It is 1917 and Korea is under Japanese occupation. With the threat of famine looming, 10-year-old Jade is sold by her desperate family to Miss Silver's courtesan school in the bustling city of Pyongyang. As the Japanese army tears through the country, she is forced to flee to the southern city of Seoul. Soon her path crosses with that of an orphan named Jung-ho, a chance encounter that will lead to a life-changing friendship. But when Jung-ho is pulled into the revolutionary fight for independence, Jade must decide between following her own ambitions and risking everything for the one she loves. Sweeping through 5 decades of Korean history, Juhea Kim's sparkling debut is an intricately woven tale of love, stretched to breaking point, and two people who refuse to let go. That sounds beautiful. I can't wait. Book number 3 is going to be Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. Again, another romance, and I mean, yes, summer is everything on this cover, and I love that the sun is a heart as well in the background. I only noticed that recently, but anyway, this is the chance for Christina Lauren, this author duo, to redeem themselves in my eyes, because I loved the Unhoneymooners, I loved the Soulmate Equation, I think it's called, but when I read their Christmas book, which is like In a Holidays, I think, hated it, thought it was horrible. So this is the chance for them to come back swinging, and hopefully it just means that I don't like their Christmas stuff. But as for what it's about, it says, Lily has never forgotten the man that got away, but she certainly hasn't forgiven him either. As the daughter of a notorious treasure hunter, Lily makes ends meet using her father's coveted hand-drawn maps, guiding tourists on fake treasure hunts through the canyons of Utah. When the man she once loved walks back into her life, Lily can't believe her eyes. Frankly, she'd like to take him out into the wilderness and leave him there. Leo wants nothing more than to reconnect with his first and only love. Unfortunately, Lily is all business. It's never gonna happen. But when the trip goes horribly and hilariously wrong, the group wonders if maybe the legend of the hidden treasure wasn't a gimmick after all. Alone under the stars, Leo and Lily must decide whether they'll risk their lives and their hearts on the adventure of a lifetime. Sounds adorable. And I really love a second chance romance, which is only a new realization for me. I think it just has a certain level of angst and tension which cannot be beaten. Next up, we've got The Castaways by Lucy Clarke, which I think is more of like a thriller maybe, or a mystery, something like that. But again, what about that cover does not scream summer to you? So, as for what it's about, it says, you wake on a beautiful remote island. Sparkling blue seas, golden sunsets, barely a footprint in the sand. Yet, this is no ordinary escape. Next to the wreck of a plane, a stranger paces. Another sharpens a knife, scoring a list of the dead onto a palm tree. Others watch from the shadows of a campfire, all with untold stories and closely guarded secrets. This is no ordinary holiday. This is no ordinary island. This is no ordinary beach read. Chills. Literal chills. Next up, we've got Well, That Was Unexpected by Jessie Q. Sutanto. There seems to be a lot of romances on this list now that I'm looking at it, but yeah, again, I mean, what about that doesn't scream summer to you? I believe this copy is actually an ARC I received when I went to Yelk, and I never actually read it, and now the book's come out, so I hope this isn't too different to the final version, because I'm probably going to be listening to the audiobook and reading this at the same time, because I got the audiobook too. But anyway, as for what it's about, it says, Charlotte and George's story starts how all good love stories do. They're catfished by their own parents. Mortified by her mother's matchmaking, Charlotte Citra agrees to one date with George Clooney Tanuwijaya, son of the most famous family in Indonesia. But when the media gets wind of it, things quickly spiral and the two families get swept up in a highly publicized romantic stunt where everyone has a role to play and a secret to keep. That sounds so fun! I cannot wait to read this! Next up, we have one that is technically a reread for me, but I want to read the rest of the series, so I do have to reread this before I jump into it, and that is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. Again, summer is just everything on this cover. There's the water, it's just the blue, that's just all summer to me. Unfortunately, this is a misprinted version. As you can see, like this white border along the top, and the fact that like the title doesn't fully fit, like the is cut off there. But anyway, we don't care about that as long as the content on the inside is fine and it looks like it is. As for what this is about, it says, raised as a warrior, Princess Lara knows two things. King Aaron of the Bridge Kingdom is her enemy and that she must be the one to bring him to his knees. The Bridge Kingdom is the only route through a storm-ravaged world and it uses its power to deprive its enemies, including Lara's homeland. When she's sent to be King Aaron's bride, Lara will do whatever it takes to bring down the kingdom's defenses, even if it means seducing her new husband. Yet, as she learns more about the war to possess the bridge, Lara's feelings for Aaron transform from hostility to passion, and she faces a terrible dilemma: which kingdom to save and which kingdom to destroy. Oh, it sounds so exciting. Next up, we've got The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones. This is an Illumicrate exclusive edition, and it's one of those books where I got it in the book box and then completely forgot about it, and it's just been sitting on that top shelf of my bookshelf for a really, really long time. So it's finally time to read it. And again, summery because of the water, the blue sky, everything about this screams summer to me. As for what it is about, it says, once upon a time, the kingdoms of Wales were rife with magic and conflict. An 18-year-old Reid is well acquainted with both. As the last living water diviner, she can manipulate water with magic, a unique elemental power many would kill to possess. For years, Mare has been running from the prince who bound her into his service and forced her to kill thousands with her magic. Now, all Mare truly wants is a safe, quiet life far from power and politics. But then Mare's old handler, the king's spymaster, returns with a proposition. Use her powers to bring down the very prince that abused them both. With the help of a fey-cursed man, a snarky thief, and a corgi that may or may not be a spy, Mare must decide if she's prepared to run for the rest of her life or to stand and fight for her freedom and peace. A corgi that may or may not be a spy? I mean, what? Sign me up for the adorable pet. Next up, we've got This Vicious Grace by Emily Thiede. I mean, the yellow and the yellow and the yellow, it just all says summer to me. The flowers, the vines, the things growing. I mean, yeah, this is everything. As for what this is about though, it is, by the way, a Fairy Loot exclusive edition, if you were wondering. But as for what it's about, it says, Alessa's gift from the gods is supposed to magnify a partner's magic, not kill every suitor she touches. Now, with only weeks left until a swarm of demons devours everything on her island home, Alessa is running out of time to find a partner and stop the invasion. When a powerful priest convinces the faithful that killing Alessa is the island's only hope, even her own soldiers try to assassinate her. Desperate to survive, Alessa hires Dante, a cynical outcast marked as a killer, to become her personal bodyguard. But as rebellion explodes outside the gates, Dante's dark secrets may be the biggest betrayal. Dante holds the key to Alessa's survival and her heart. Is he the one person who can help her master her gift, or will he destroy her once and for all? Oh, it says on the back, 3 weddings, 3 funerals, 1 more chance to save them all. Ooh, okay. I'm hooked. Next up, we have a book that was actually gifted to me by my mom, and that is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. The only problem with this is that I own Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell and haven't read it yet, and I wanted to read that one first, but I mean, come on, like, summer? Are you kidding? So much summer, so I kind of have to read this one. But as for what it's about, it says, in the winter of 1561, Lucrezia, Duchess of Ferrara is taken on an unexpected visit to a country villa by her husband, Alfonso. As they sit down to dinner in the icy hall, it occurs to Lucrezia that Alfonso has a sinister purpose in bringing her here. He intends to kill her. Lucrezia is 16 years old and has led a sheltered life, locked away inside Florence's grandest palazzo, guarded by her father's soldiers and her mother's ladies-in-waiting. Here, in this remote villa, however, she is entirely at the mercy of her increasingly erratic husband. What is Lucrezia to do with this sudden knowledge? What chance does she have against Alfonso, the ruler of a province and a trained soldier? How can she ensure her survival? The marriage portrait is a vivid evocation of the beauty and brutality of Renaissance Italy and of a young woman whose proximity to power places her in mortal danger. Did you hear that spine, by the way? It is not having a good day today. But anyway, this is the next one. And last up, we've got the latest Taylor Jenkins read, which I still haven't read, and that is Carrie Soto is Back by the amazing author Taylor Jenkins Reid. Again, that cover just screams summer to me, just the bright colors. But as for what it's about, it says, Carrie Soto is fierce and her determination to win at any cost has not made her popular. But by the time she retires from tennis, she is the best player the world has ever seen. She has shattered every record and claimed 20 slam titles. And if you ask Carrie, she is entitled to every one. She sacrificed nearly everything to become the best, with her father as her coach. Javier, a former champion himself, has trained her since the age of 2. But 6 years after her retirement, Carrie finds herself sitting in the stands of the 1994 US Open, watching her record being taken from her by a brutal, stunning British player named Nikki Chan. At 37 years old, Carrie makes the monumental decision to come out of retirement and be coached by her father for one last year in an attempt to reclaim her record. Even if the sports media say that they never liked the Butterlikes anyway, even if her body doesn't move as fast as it did, and even if it means swallowing her pride to train with a man she once almost opened her heart to, Bo Huntley. Like her, he has something to prove before he gives up the game forever. In spite of it all, Carrie Soto is back for one epic final season. In this riveting and unforgettable novel, Taylor Jenkins Reid tells her most vulnerable, emotional story yet. That scares me, but I'm so excited. So this very heavy pile is the 10 books that I'm planning to get through this summer. There are some chonkers on here. It is not a small pile. I will admit I'm gonna struggle, but I'm excited for every single one of them. But that is the end of this summer TBR, so do let me know in the comments down below if there are any books that you want to read this summer, or if you want to read any of these books. I love talking to you guys and I do my best to reply to every single comment. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do let me know by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell all down below. It's a super easy way to help my channel grow, and I will see you lovely people in my next video. Bye!